Good morning, it's James. It's so good to see you this morning. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. I'm deeply grateful to have the honor and the blessing of laying eyes on you this morning. And I'm really excited to share with you some really cool research today. But before we begin, let's talk a little bit about what comes up for us when we hear the word flourish. Just that word flourish. What comes up for you? What do you feel? What do you see? And then you take that word and say, if I was to be flourishing in my life, what would that look like? How would I feel? What would my world be, out picturing? And this is why I want to share with you some really cool research. I think when we hear that word, it's like, oh, wow. Like, yeah, that's awesome, right? It's just very aspirational. I feel inspired, maybe feel courageous, maybe feel like, oh my gosh, I'm ready, leaning in. I'm ready to go. Let me flourish already. Well, Martin Seligman is a psychologist from University of Pennsylvania. And you probably have heard of him if you're interested or dedicated to the craft of positive psychology. He is the father, the creator of positive psychology. And he's a student of Maslow. When you think of like self-actualization and the hierarchy of needs, well, Seligman has kind of taken that as a foundation, and then he's been growing it from there, doing a lot of clinical work, really validating with research. What does it take to be a highly functioning, amazing human being on the planet? And basically, his latest book is called Flourishing, where he's chronicled, researched, and really put into testing what does flourishing mean and how do we predictably flourish in our lives. Well, I'm going to break it down for you. It's pretty awesome. So there's 4 things that he sees in his work that if we were to embody these and really engage with ourselves in these 4 ways, we will begin and see a systematic evolution of flourishing in our life. How amazing is that? So number 1, it's engagement. Number 2 is relationships. Number 3 is meaning. And number 4 is achievement. So in the area of engagement, he says in everything that we're doing, the goal is to be fully engaged. Whether we're doing dishes or we're with a loved one or we're doing great work in the world, we're doing art, we're even driving a car. Every time you're doing something that can ask you to be more intentional, he said, lean in and be fully engaged. That is easy. It's simple, but not easy. I'm just totally, right? Our mind goes other places. We just kind of go on automatic pilot, but the goal is to be fully present. Number 2, relationships. Really give yourself permission to lean all the way in. Be fully present. Be authentic. Be compassionate. Be authentic. Just absolutely be your full self. Let yourself be seen and listen and let that self that you're in front of, that person, that being, let them be seen too. Number 3, meaning. When we give ourselves permission to take engagement and relationships, constantly go through the day and be asking yourself, where is the meaning in this? Where's the purpose in this? Where do I get a chance to learn and grow? Anytime that we're connected to the word meaning, and we know that Harvard research around a life well lived and high happiness people constantly connected to meaning in relationships and how we can grow in all of our relationships. But meaning is happening all the time in our life. It's just whether or not we're aware of how it gives us meaning and giving ourselves permission to practice meaning. And then lastly, achievement. This is connected to a 4th practice, or a 5th practice, I should say, where at the end of the day, and I know we've talked a lot about gratitude journaling and writing down things we're grateful for and all the amazing research. Well, you're going to get all of those benefits of greater sleep and greater, wake up in the morning and feel more powerful and empowered and all those things. But he said, do this instead, or do this along with that. Simply ask yourself, what went well? What went well? And write down 3 things that connected to engagement, relationships, meaning, and achievement. And when we do, we're going to see our neurochemistry, our emotional resilience, our physiology start to really kind of weave itself into our being. So we start to flourish in our lives. We start to really live up to this, vision, this wonderful spiritual expectation of how we'd love our life to be lived. It's a beautiful time right now to consider, what do you look like? How do you feel? What is your world all about under the influence of flourishing? And then take engagement, relationships, meaning, and achievement, and ask yourself, what went well? Lean in. Love yourself that deeply. Peace. Blessings. Bye for now.